The Phantom Wedge is one of those vehicles. You know the one, they get released, they exist for a while and then they very quickly crawl back into the Forgotten Realm like a lot of other interesting yet useless vehicles. But now after being told that both the Phantom Wedge and the Ramp Buggy have been massively buffed since the Arena War DLC and the rumours of NPC cars intentionally cutting you up whenever you partake in a car sell and collect mission, I thought it might be an interesting idea to take another look at them. This won't be a full-on review of the two vehicles, especially since I'm very quickly going to be dismissing the Ramp Buggy for a reason you'll see shortly. It's just more of a testing and potential use case scenario for the two vehicles that were once pretty forgettable, but thanks to the buff can be pretty useful now. It's great as a car to run around at decently high speed, launching cars into the air and causing havoc, whilst also having a laugh. But besides that, despite being tweaked to be completely invulnerable from launching cars into the air as shown here, along with the Phantom Wedge, it's still pretty in my opinion. The Phantom Wedge, however, ooh yeah, now we're talking. So, okay, the main difference between these two vehicles, besides the class and the handling, is the behaviour of the condemned cars as they get hit by these things. The Ramp Buggy, because of its straight flat design, launches cars directly straight up into the air, which is cool, but soon I will tell you about why it isn't always that good. The Wedge launches cars to the side, which I think is infinitely more useful. Use case scenario. Apparently when undergoing a mission to steal or deliver a car, civilian AI drivers on the road will by design accidentally cut you up as you try to overtake them. Now, after trying a few times, I couldn't really say I encountered such an issue, besides the odd time where it was definitely my fault that we had a crash, like if I undercut a driver as he's about to take a turn, or if I run through reds. But besides that, nothing really to report on my end. Whether or not this is true, the Phantom Wedge can come in handy for not one, but two reasons. The first being what I just explained, the second being, well, let me explain. If you're one of those guys who try to get around filled lobbies with potential cargo killers by going into a solo session, then by hell or high water the game is still going to have something for you to worry about. There will always be something or someone to chase you around, making sure that you have to pay just a little extra, at least, to take the car to its destination. Now, there is a simple way to avoid this. Just have at least one extra guy in the session with you. Just make sure he isn't in your organisation, but if he isn't in your organisation to help you deliver more cars, something which you can do anyways with 4 of you and just one guy to be in the session with you, what can he do? BAM! He can make himself useful by shoving all the useless trash off the road in front of you so you can have a nice easy journey taking the cars to the destination while simultaneously removing angry NPC spawns simply by existing. Now, back to the Ramp Buggy. Because the thing likes to launch everything it hits straight up into the air, all it's really doing is providing a temporary cleansing of the road. The cars that it launches into the air eventually do have to come back down to earth, thanks to this thing called gravity or something, so unless the delivery cars are tailing right behind the Ramp Buggy, you're just really creating an obstacle course for the delivery drivers to avoid. The Wedge, however, properly cleans up the road, keeping your delivery drivers safe while also providing entertainment in the form of cars and buses flying off the road. And not to mention, it can be used to tug an MOC around, so what is that, like 15 vehicles in one? This thing will serve you well. Just don't use it in combat. It is pretty weak. So, yeah, that's all I really had to say about these old things. I think it might be worth giving these a try if you're one of those guys who like to do import-export. I mean, the thing came out in that DLC, so if this thing about drivers ramming into you accidentally is a thing, then it's probably a case of Rockstar just wanting players to make use of these old and forgotten vehicles a bit more, and not just because they want you to buy shark cards. Or maybe they do. Hell if I care. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you around, folks.